Today we're looking at security settings for DataVault. As you can see, Touch ID is now included in DataVault. In order to make sure that DataVault has the security setting for Touch ID to show, you need to go into your general device settings, into your security settings, and make sure that you have enabled Touch ID. You notice that you can choose iPhone unlock or lock. Make sure that you've got that enabled. Once you've done that, you can go into DataVault, go into the settings, the little tools icon at the lower left, and from there you can choose the security settings. And once you're in there, at the very bottom you'll see Touch ID, and you can enable or disable it there. But you want to make sure that you've enabled it in your main settings first. Very important to check require password. If you're going to choose once per session, it's probably not worth enabling Touch ID at all, as it will require you to enter a password every time you log in. So I've chosen monthly so that it very rarely requires it. When you do this, you'll notice that you get a pop-up saying that using this option requires storing your password in iOS Keychain. iOS Keychain is very safe, and you're probably already using it for Safari and probably some other apps. But we are required to let you know. You have another option directly above your Touch ID, which is Lock on Exit. If you have this enabled, every time you leave DataVault, it will lock, so that if you were going from DataVault to another app and back, you will have to Touch ID or enter your password every time you come back to DataVault. So if you're going back and forth frequently, leave that disabled. Auto lock, you can go from 1 minute to 10 minutes to never. I don't recommend that you use never, because that kind of defeats the purpose of using security. Normally, you want 2 or 3 minutes, perhaps 10 minutes if you're, using DataVault intensively. Your maximum login attempts, you've got from 3 to 15. Notice that I have 3 chosen. That's mostly because I do an awful lot of resetting database when I'm testing DataVault. Normally you want it, 5, perhaps 10. After you have used up all of your attempts, it will wind up, resetting your database for you. It's actually also a very good way of resetting your database automatically. Thank you for looking at our security options today.